Welcome to the AdPR Biometrics Lab at GVSU. My name is Georgia, and today we're going to be doing an iMotions tutorial on how to make an A/B test. So the first thing you're going to need is a computer with iMotions on it. I recommend using the one in the AdPR Lab. You're also going to want to use two stimuli. We have a video linked here where you can learn how to do that. So first thing you're going to do is open up iMotions on the computer by double clicking, and it will take it a second to load, so I'm going to jump ahead here to when it opens. And now once it's open, hi, there's me. You can just close this tab. And this is now our main infrastructure of iMotion. So first you're going to want to go to the teal plus with the clipboard and click on it and click screen-based study because that's what we're doing. And then next. And this is the screen dimensions that you're going to be doing the study on. So you might want to pause and make sure those line up. And same here, this is the eye tracking tool we're using and the shimmer tool and the responding camera. So just go over those, make sure they all line up. Now it's time to name your study. Your professor may have given you instructions on how to name it. If not, I recommend something like last name underscore and then typing in your course and section number. And then if you have any notes you want to add, like this is a duplicate or maybe this is the second version, you can do that below. And then you'll click create study and here it is. So you're going to want to check these settings, make sure everything looks right. You have your study name, your description, and you're going to want to click instructor controlled. In your sensors, you can also see everything we just went over. But really for now, all you need to do is go up and click edit stimuli. So when it first opens, you can close this. And now we're in our study builder. So first, you can see this menu up here with a bunch of different options of things you can drag and drop into your study. First, we're going to focus on the survey tool and drag that in. And we're actually not going to be using this as a survey. We're going to be using it as an introduction message. So once you get in, you're going to take rich text message and drag it over. And sometimes it goes a little slow. There it is. So now you have your little box where you can adjust your text and font and also this text box to type in. So you can add a message like this. So I skipped ahead, but essentially I thanked the participants for being in the study and explained the protocol for what's about to happen. This may be something your professor provides. If not, you're going to want to make sure you hit those basic touch points. So I'm also dragging my text box to make it a little bigger. And if you have the problem I had here where the text doesn't all show up, you can click on the text and use the arrow keys to make it all show up. Now I'm just dragging to center it. Now I'm opening my survey settings and unchecking show grid. This is just going to make it a lot easier to read. I really recommend doing it. And you can also change your background color right there if you want. Then I'm going to click save to study. And for the title, I'm going to type in introduction, but you could name it whatever makes sense for what you're doing. And click save. And now we have our first element. So over here you see a little preview and some settings. We can rename it again if we need. Here's the duration that it'll show up, which is important because you can either set it to a manual advance or automatic advance. When you set it to manual advance, your participant will have to click next to go to the next page, or if you click automatic, the duration will determine the amount of time that they will spend looking at that slide, and they can't make it go faster or slower. It'll just be there for that duration. So next we're going to add a blank slide, and this just gives the viewer a second to have their natural heart rate measured and make sure they're ready to go for the rest of the study. We're going to drag that survey tool back again. We're going to uncheck show grid, and then we're going to drag another rich text message, but we're not going to write anything, just leave it there. Click save to study, and I'm going to type in blank slide because that's what this is. And now we have our blank slide. So you're going to want to make sure that display order is set to fixed. We'll talk more about that in a second. And your advance should be set to automatic at about 6 seconds. And again, this is just a great way to have your participant prepped and ready for the study, have their mind clear so that they don't have anything else distracting them as they go into that first stimuli. So next we're going to add our first stimuli, and we're going to do that by dragging from media, third down. This menu is going to pop open and you're going to click wherever you saved your media. Here's mine. I'm going to click open and here it is. As you can see in the little preview window, there's that black background and it's a little sharp and intense to look at. So we're going to click on stimulus background and make it a lighter gray. And here I'm checking to make sure it's the right one. And that looks a little light, so I'm going to go back and change it. And now that looks a little dark, so we're going to go back to the one we had. Now that that's sorted, we're going to click on automatic for our advance, and we are going to set the duration to about 20 or 30 seconds. You're going to want to check with your class to see what the standard is, but I recommend 20 seconds. You're also going to set the display to random so that it doesn't always start first. Anything that's fixed will stay in the same spot. Anything random, they'll pretty much shuffle every time. Then you're going to go to your blank slide, right click and click duplicate, drag that down. And now we have another blank slide. I'm going to name it blank slide 2 just to have another reset between our stimuli. And we have that automatic set. We're going to drag down media again. We're going to open our second stimuli at the same process as before. When that opens, you can rename it if you want. We're going to change our background color. We're going to make sure it's set to automatic, and we're going to make sure that our display is set to random. And now those two posts will take turns starting as the first post at random, but the ones that are there that say fixed with that little pin are going to stay in the same spot, so you won't have 3 blank slides in a row and then your introduction. Now we're going to add a survey at the end again and drag a rich text message in, and we're also going to uncheck that grid. And now we're just going to type a little thank you message if there's anything you have to disclose, or maybe a contact info such as email or phone number. This is a good spot to do all of that. Jumping ahead again, I wrote, thank you for participating in this survey. After reading this slide, you may click next and remove the shimmer device from your hand. I'm centering it. I'm clicking save to study, and I'm naming it thank you and clicking save. And there it is, and it's pinned so we know it's not going to move. We can also check preview just to peek real quick, but we have a better way of doing that. We're going to click on the X in the corner, and now we can see our whole study up here. As you can see, those 2 random ones are listed at the end. And now we can click preview, and here's our whole study. You can even see my eyes moving with it. So this has been how to make an iMotions A/B test. In our next video, we'll show you how to actually run that test. In the meantime, if you're looking for more biometrics content, you can always go to gvsu.edu/soc/biometrics for our blog, and you can follow us on Instagram and watch our YouTube channel for more videos.